Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Renuka, bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. Repeated Chinese violations of agreements at the LAC are the reason behind troubled India-China relations, says India's External Affairs Minister. India's Defence Minister highlights commonality between Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, IPOI, and ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific. India and Nepal to open flight operations under air bubble agreement. Canada approves Pfizer's corona vaccine for people over the age of 16. WHO lauds India's Fit India movement, and Italian footballing great Paolo Rossi is no more. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said that India is in its most difficult phase of relationship with China in the last 30 years. In a candid online discussion with the Lowy Institute of Australia, the minister said that maintaining peace and tranquility on the LAC is the basis of furthering relationship with China, and recent Chinese actions has profoundly disturbed it.
Now we had two agreements, in fact not two, multiple agreements starting from 19, which essentially asked both parties to take the commitment not to bring large forces to the boundary. Now, for some reason, for which the Chinese have to date given us 5 differing explanations, the Chinese have violated. The Chinese have literally brought tens of thousands of soldiers, in the full military preparation mode, right to the line of actual control in Ladakh. Now, naturally, the relationship would be profoundly disturbed by this.
Speaking on the future of India's relationship with the USA under Joe Biden, Dr. Jaishankar said rebalancing and multipolarity are the key words underlining their relationship. Responding to a question on India's decision to not join the RCEP, Dr. Jaishankar said that issues such as market access, subsidies remain unaddressed.
I don't think the issue is today engage or don't engage. I think the issue is engage right or engage wrong. Some of the issues on which I've been speaking on, particularly leading up to the RCEP, I think many of the earlier engagements were not well thought through, certainly not well implemented from the Indian perspective.
Defence Minister of India, Mr. Rajnath Singh, attended virtually the 10th anniversary of the founding of the ASEAN Defence Ministers Meeting Plus, ADMM Plus, on Wednesday. The ADMM Plus is a platform for ASEAN and its 8 dialogue partners to strengthen security and defence cooperation for peace, stability and development in the region.
We also need to continue our efforts to address the threats of bioterrorism, transnational trafficking and pandemic diseases. Here, I would like to reiterate the importance of the support of the military establishment of our respective countries to their civilian law enforcement counterparts.
Mr. Singh noted the commonality between India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, IPOI, and ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific. He also reiterated India's support to freedom of navigation and overflight for all in international waters in accordance with the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, UN clause. He underlined the importance of mutual trust and confidence based on restraint in activities and actions that may further complicate the situation in the region. Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, on Thursday said that democracy is the soul of India's national life. Speaking while laying the foundation stone to the new Parliament building, Mr. Modi added that democracy is a tradition in India and it has evolved over centuries.
भारत में लोकतंत्र एक संस्कार है. भारत के लिए लोकतंत्र जीवन मूल्य है, जीवन पद्धति है, राष्ट्र जीवन की आत्मा है. भारत का लोकतंत्र सदियों के अनुभव से विकसित हुई व्यवस्था है. भारत के लिए लोकतंत्र में जीवन मंत्र भी है, जीवन तत्व भी है और साथ ही व्यवस्था का तंत्र भी है.
Japan's Chief of Staff General Izutsu Shunji arrived in India on Wednesday on a formal visit. After paying homage at the National War Memorial, General Izutsu called on the India's Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadauria at the Air Force HQ today for bilateral discussions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the people of Israel and Jewish people all over the world on Hanukkah festival. In a tweet, Mr. Modi hoped the festival brings peace and light in lives and kindle more warmth to the relationship between people. A virtual summit will be held between India's Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on Friday. This will be the first bilateral virtual summit between India and a Central Asian country. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. China announced on Thursday that it would revoke a visa exemption treatment for U.S. diplomatic passport holders paying temporary visits to Hong Kong and Macau. The move comes after the United States imposed financial sanctions and a travel ban on more than a dozen Chinese officials. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying told a press briefing in Beijing that China has decided to impose reciprocal sanctions against some U.S. officials, members of Congress, personnel at non-governmental organizations, and their family members over their egregious behavior on Hong Kong. India's envoy to Bangladesh, Vikram Doraiswamy, paid a courtesy call on the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, at her official residence, Ghana Bhavan in Dhaka on Thursday. Official news agency BSS reports that during the meeting he expressed India's willingness to contribute in enhancing the service delivery capacity of Bangladeshi professionals for the COVID-19 vaccine. High Commissioner Vikram Doraiswamy emphasized on the need to enhance business-to-business interaction. He said that the Chilahati-Haldibari rail link would be inaugurated along with some other projects during the forthcoming virtual summit between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Hasina in December. India and Nepal have decided to open flights under a bilateral bubble arrangement. This comes in the wake of India's Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla's visit to Nepal, in which he highlighted the importance of people-to-people connectivity. The arrangement is being started with Indians, Nepalese, OCI, PIO card holders of all nationalities and all valid Indian visa holders. The World Human Rights Day is being observed today with the theme Recover Better. On the occasion, the United Nations said that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a disproportionate impact on vulnerable groups including frontline workers, people with disabilities, older people, women and girls, and minorities. Meanwhile, UN human rights experts have raised concerns about the scourge of enforced disappearances and torture in Pakistan. Highlighting the Pakistan's government's failure to investigate the recent case of human rights defender Idris Khattak, it called on them to uphold its human rights obligations. Now the coronavirus updates from around the world. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is examining Pfizer's application for emergency authorization. Canada has approved Pfizer's corona vaccine for people over the age of 16, opening the possibility of Canadians starting to receive it next week. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on Thursday pledged an additional $250 million to support the development of low-cost and easier-to-deliver treatments and vaccines against COVID-19. The Indian government's program to promote a healthy lifestyle, Fit India movement, has received praise from the World Health Organization. In a tweet, the WHO said it applauds India's initiative on promoting physical activity through this fitness campaign. The campaign has rallied the support of celebrities from different fields and has urged Indians to follow the basic mantra of 30 minutes of fitness every day. India's Ministry of Ayush and the Indian Council of Cultural Relations ICCR resolved to streamline and intensify the joint efforts to promote yoga in various countries across the world on Thursday. It was also decided to utilize the certification framework of the Yoga Certification Board as a means of promoting authentic yoga across the world. On to sports now. Italian footballer Paolo Rossi passed away on Thursday. Rossi was a part of Italy's World Cup winning side in 1992. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favorite bhajan Vaishnavajan by artists from Colombia. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.